What you're experiencing right now in this absolute present moment is simply a product of a number of things. It's the best knowledge I've ever read. They've transformed me. They've transformed my reality in magical ways. But basic things, and I mean, manifesting $1 million is the same energetically as manifesting a cup of coffee. 7 years of transurfing distilled into 4 20-minute audios that I have used to absolutely transform. Fly there, check it out. Oh my God, this is great. Walk by a real estate office. Oh my God, you can get a beautiful house for that much? Well, I've got that much. Hello, Transurfer and the Transurfing Curious. My name is Renée Garcia, guys, and this is Transurfing TV. And today on Transurfing TV, this is going to be somewhat of a special edition. I am leaving for Tbilisi, Georgia tomorrow, where I just bought an epic house, and I'm going to be seeing it for the first time. I'm going to be reuniting with Andrew Magic, my partner in crime in Tbilisi, and I'm going to be doing all the things that I need to do in order to finalize the materialization of the slide that I have created, which is setting up an epic lifestyle and layer of reality in Tbilisi, Georgia. And I am now in a position where I can honestly say that I am blowing my own mind. I am experiencing a version of reality currently that in some ways, some past parts of myself or lower parts of myself, they're catching up, but some lower parts of myself are kind of watching the events unfold in amazement, watching my higher self perform, watching my layer of reality transform. And I really do believe this is what Vadim is speaking of when he refers to apples falling to the sky. Reality has taken on a dreamlike effect, and things are evolving and transforming and exponentially, I don't want to say speeding up, because I'm in reality. I'm very, very present. I'm very lucid. So I'm moving through each stage, absorbing it all, feeling it all, luxuriating in it all. But it is transforming rapidly. And it's transforming even more rapidly and transforming in ways that have really exceeded my expectations. I'm 7 years in to my transurfing practice, and I felt as though last year at this time, I was pretty solid in my practice. I felt as though I totally understood transurfing. I understood how to work the concepts, see results, all that stuff. But what has happened between last year at this time and now shows me that I was simply at a level of understanding reality and the reality transurfing knowledge that paralleled who I was at that moment. I have since evolved in some fucking mind-blowing ways, and therefore I have taken my game and my reality with me, And now I'm watching myself in amazement, watching my reality transform in absolute amazement. And I've landed on some insights that I want to share with you today, because I kind of feel like I've hacked the matrix. I've cracked the code. The things that needed to be reformed from my previous transurfing practice, like let's say a year ago, even just that little tweak in the ways in which I was engaging with my reality, thoughts about myself, my evolution, all that stuff, even just those small little tweaks, my God, they have changed absolutely everything. So I've arrived on some insights, I would say, especially in the last couple of months, that are so simple in nature, yet they have eluded me for some time. I feel as though a lot of the transurfing concepts, the meaty ones, like the soul frail and outer intention and heart and mind coordination and all that kind of stuff, they're amazing concepts, don't get me wrong. They've transformed me, they've transformed my reality in magical ways. But basic things, and I mean super basic things, like just understanding what this moment is exactly and what it is you can do in this moment that will help you to see results. Basic stuff like this, almost so basic that it's somewhat overlooked, right? We go for the more complex, meaty, heady parts of transurfing, but really understanding the value that is in this present moment right now in regards to reality creation. Oh my God, I've blown my own fucking mind gaining some of these insights. So I'm going to share this stuff with you today. Let me state that there are 3 tools that I'm going to plug and speak on briefly in this video, because I feel as though the transurfing knowledge is an amazing foundation to creating your own reality. Awesome. It's the best knowledge I've ever read. I'm still hooked 7 years later, simply because I believe that knowledge, it is what is allowing me to connect with even higher knowledge, which is bridging me even more quickly from present moment to versions of reality that I want to materialize. And this bridge I have cut up into 3 distinct sort of methods. And if you're ready to really move quickly and rapidly through your reality to the next version, this might be something for you. So I will talk on those things in a few moments. So first of all, I want to talk about what reality is. And again, this is where, like last night, I go to take my dogs out before I go to sleep, and it just kind of like hits me, really deep, meaningful knowledge just absolutely hits me like a freight train. And last night was one of these moments, and it's kind of what is inspiring me to create this video today. So I realized that I walked out onto my patio. I'm watching my dogs in the yard. Beautiful night sky. I feel amazing. I feel alive. I'm getting ready to leave to Tbilisi. I'm healthy. I feel like I'm in my 20s. I'm in my mid-40s, and I feel as though I'm just waking up and experiencing life for the first time. And I have this moment where I see myself and I see my reality, and I say to myself, or I ask myself, how is this possible? How did you get here? Like condense it into a single sentence. How did you get here? And the sentence that came to my mind is, I stopped taking reality at face value. This, to me, is what divides reality creators and people that remain stuck. This thought, this understanding of reality at face value and reality not at face value. I know this is you're like, probably, what the fuck is she talking about? So let me break it down. Much of my life, I was taking reality at face value. This is what I have. This sucks. I want this. Why don't I have this? Why can't I have $1 million? You know, this whole thing of like, I'm sure you've heard it. Manifesting $1 million is the same energetically as manifesting a cup of coffee. And I think, bullshit. That is bullshit. No, it's not. You can go and walk to the grocery store right now, or go to the cafe, or go to your kitchen, and you can get yourself a cup of coffee very, very easily. And the truth of the matter is, you can get the $1 million, not as quickly. You're not going to just go into your kitchen and manifest $1 million. But as soon as you turn away from the idea of static reality and this addiction, really, to a conventional perspective of reality, taking reality at face value, as soon as you can shift your perspective and pull in what you need to help you to materialize that $1 million, you're already merging to that version of reality. What you're experiencing right now in this absolute present moment is simply a product of a number of things. It's a product of past moves that you've made. Reality is not created. You're not going to change your reality right now to the reality that you want to experience. It doesn't work like that. You can, however, start doing things in this present moment that will result in the reality that you want to experience around the corner. But you've got to start living it right now. And this is kind of where reality, conventional reality, taking reality at face value and merging to a higher and better variation of reality, not taking reality at face value and releasing yourself from that conventional perspective of reality, this is where they merge off. And this is a challenging thing for a lot of people to understand, because again, a conventional perspective, viewing reality as static and taking reality at face value, is embedded deeply into our programming. This is what I have. Man, I'm always going to be broke. Why are things so hard? So if you're having thoughts like this right now, that is going to create a product that you are going to live in your future moments, right? If you switch those things right now, those future moments switch. So I had an interesting experience. I went to Tbilisi. I know I've been talking a lot about this lately in the transurfing community, but this is probably the most transurfing thing that I've ever done in my life, to the point where it has amazed me beyond what I could have considered were options for me. I slipped through a crack in the matrix. I found a motherfucking candy bridge that I didn't even know was there via transurfing and doing the things that I'm going to talk about today. And the cool thing is, it is available for everyone if you can give up your addiction to conventional reality. If you can give up your addiction to conventional reality. So what did I do? I messaged my friend who just so happened to be going someplace that I'd always wanted to go, Tbilisi, Georgia. Andrew. He mentioned he was moving there from Russia. I was like, oh, I want to go. So I got online immediately. I booked my ticket and I booked an Airbnb within like an hour of talking to him. Anomalous action, right? Exiting my reality rut, taking a sign from my world. I go there and oh my God, it was fucking amazing. It was everything that I thought it was, plus 100 things more. I became mesmerized, enthralled with the lifestyle, the city, the people, the food, the energy, the vibe, everything. That shit spoke to me in a big way. So I tell Andrew, I want to walk by a real estate office. Sure enough, oh my God, real estate is really, really inexpensive. Like shockingly inexpensive compared to the US. And wow, they just rolled out a government program called Remotely, where remote workers can have all these benefits, and especially if they're willing to buy property. So I'm like, God damn, all of a sudden, there's this layer of reality that I've fallen in love with, and it's kind of like my world is rolling out the red carpet for me to, take my world up on this. Hang on a second, you guys. There's fires outside really bad still, and my nose is really running. So here I am seeing this version of reality, seeing the ways in which my world is showing me that this is something that I can do, realizing, oh my God, I can buy a house outright and have no mortgage, no rent. I have friends here. It's easy. The living's easy. The amount of freedom, if I take my reality up on this, to free up my time so I can just be purely creative, and all of a sudden, this version of reality crystallizes in front of me. It's like my world hands me this juicy piece of fruit and says, here you go. Do you want it? So I come back home, and almost immediately I allow my world to convince me all the ways in which this thing won't work, all the ways in which it's dangerous. Oh, there's political instability and Russia and Putin, and my partner's like, a foreign country, a foreign country. People in my reality are kind of laughing at me. Oh, this foolish thing that Renée, this new idea that Renée has. And I let that light start to dim slightly of that dream that I saw. And I woke up and I thought, nope, there you go. That is you accepting a conventional approach and view to external reality, and you're higher and better than that. So I begin to organize three things. I begin to organize my own thoughts about the scenario. I begin to organize the pendulums in my environment and my external environment to line up with the scenario. And then I begin to align my relationship between the two, myself and my external environment. And I start to do some very transurfing things, running my slide, really paying attention to the feedback of pendulums, just immersing myself into the state of being, sensing all the things that I perceive I would feel living in this beautiful place, complete financial freedom, being creative all day, every day. And I start feeling this really, really, really resonating at this frequency. And suddenly, like that, the reality is right there. And I'm doing it, and I'm going there, and it's materializing, and it's happening. Now, this would not have been possible had I maintained my conventional approach to reality. And this is the difference between sort of the two modes of operation that I see right now, me having one mode, and then people asking me questions and making comments and me reading posts in the Facebook group that are presenting a much different approach to reality. Why is everything so out of alignment? Why does everything seem so hard? Why does everything seem so unstable? I'm having issues with employment, inflation, all these problems, perceived problems, really clouding a person's reality to the extent that they can't even see that there's another option available. And it's not out of line. Pendulums want to convince you that it's out of line, but it's actually not. It's very achievable. There are things that are very, very close right to you right now that you could take if you are able to let go of your grip of viewing reality from a conventional, static, taking it at face value standpoint. So this insight that I have last night, I stopped taking reality at face value. I understand now that reality is not something I'm experiencing. I mean, I am somewhat experiencing it, but more so, what it is it's a canvas, a blank slate. And whatever I paint, whatever I create on that canvas now is going to materialize in form of a physical version, layer of reality that is around the bend. So it is a place, it is a moment where I can begin to think new thoughts, take new actions, resonate at a new frequency, run a slide of the future, which will then splice me off to that version of reality. Reality, as I currently understand it, is like, if you've seen movies or shows where they show, a freeway with a bunch of exits and changes to other freeways, that's kind of what this present moment is right now. You're at a crossroad where there's lots of different freeways and highways and avenues that you can take to different versions of reality if you view it like that. But if you don't, if you just think, oh, well, this is just a road, a single road, and I'm on this road, then all of those other options disappear. You don't even see them. They're non-existent, really. So being able to understand how valuable this moment is right now, how valuable this moment is, how much you are affecting what it is you are going to experience or creating right now via your thoughts, your actions, your frequency, your perspective, what imagery you're running in your mind. All of that you're doing right now is creating the next moment. So people are remaining stuck simply because they're saying, I'm stuck, I don't have any options, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to go, I don't know how to do it. So having thoughts like that and taking action like that, even lack of action is taking action, this is going to result in that exact same version of reality you're feeling stuck in the next moment. That's how it works. So if you want something different for yourself, you have to do something different right now in your present moment. You have to start thinking new thoughts, acting in new ways, raising your frequency, right? And I know there's a lot of ambiguity about that. What does that mean exactly? What does that mean exactly? Well, if I'm sitting on the couch feeling like a piece of shit, watching Netflix night after night after night after night, that is me resonating at a specific frequency that most likely isn't going to have that much effect on my reality. If I get off the couch and I start doing something that is a higher action, sitting on the couch watching Netflix, I am going to begin attracting different variables into my layer of reality, which I then use to sort of get the ball rolling, and it just moves on from there into a new and higher version of reality. So the reality is that you are experiencing right now is simply a product of what you created in the past moments. If you want something new for yourself, then you're going to have to do something different right now or in the next moment, right? A lot of people are wanting to see change, yet they're not admitting that they need to actually make a move and do something about it. Don't wait for inspiration, because waiting for inspiration is a trap. You'll always just be waiting for inspiration. If you're waiting for inspiration now, you are going to create a reality in the next moment where you're simply waiting for inspiration, and it just goes on like that to infinity. I mean, it's kind of a mind fuck if you really get into it. So you get exactly what it is you are right now. Somebody messaged me a few days ago and said, how do I make $1 million if I've only ever made $55,000 a year? And this, again, is where a lot of people fuck it up, because they think, oh, I need to do something to make the $1 million, right? I need to find some way in my reality to make $1 million. And that's somewhat true, not exactly, more so not true than it is true. What you need to do is you need to become a person that makes $1 million. The person that's making $55,000 a year is making $55,000 a year because they are a person that makes $55,000 a year. They are not a person that makes $1 million a year. I'm a person, or makes $1 million. I am a person that makes $1 million. I was a person who does not make any money at all. In fact, I was a person that was drowning in debt, working low-paying jobs that I hated, accepting reality at face value. Oh, this is what I have. This is all I'll ever have. I only have a 9th grade education, so there's very limited options for me. This is me on that freeway. There's only one direction, and thank God I had the insight to understand, at least in a very, very small way, that I needed to get off that exit, right? And start to merge with a different variation of reality. I have now fine-tuned it to where it's all different variations, and I simply get to choose the one that I want, that is the most appealing, the most luxurious, the most fun, the most easy, all of those things. But again, I have become the person that does that, right? That prior version of me didn't have those opportunities simply because that was not the person that has those kind of opportunities. So if you want something right now and you don't know where to start, you want a higher, source of income, a different profession that ignites heart and mind coordination, you want more freedom, you want more adventure, you want an easier life, you want whatever, you need to begin by becoming the person that thinks like that, acts like that, resonates at the frequency of that variation of reality, and doing that in the present moment is going to veer you off to that version of reality. I oftentimes think to myself, what would Elon Musk do, right? I know a lot of people hate him, a lot of people love him, he's kind of a weird dude, but he's a reality creator. I think to myself, what would Elon Musk do? So the other day, I was at home by myself. My partner was out of town, and I had some stuff that I wanted to work on, wrapping up one of the projects that I'm going to talk about shortly. I'd kind of put it on the back burner. I was taking a little break before I leave to Tbilisi, and somebody messaged me and was like, hey, have you seen this show? And on Netflix. So I thought to myself, I'm going to take a nice bath, and I'm going to make myself something to eat, and I'm going to go get on the couch with my dogs, and I'm going to binge watch this show. So I sit down and I go to turn on the TV. I turn it on, and there's like a moment where the screen goes black before the show comes on, and I saw myself looking back at myself, and I just thought, what are you doing? What are you doing? Go downstairs to your studio and finish your project, right? This is not going to create what you want to experience in the next frame of reality. You going downstairs and completing your project is. So I got up off my ass, 8 o'clock in the evening. I took my dinner down to my studio, and I sat there and I finished what it was that I wanted to finish, ate my dinner, took my dogs outside. I went and climbed into bed, and I thought to myself, I feel fucking satisfied right now. I'm doing what I need to do to create the reality that I want to experience. Had I binged watched Netflix all night, I would not feel satisfied right now. The version of reality that I want to experience, house in Tbilisi paid for, funds in the bank, immense financial security and freedom for creative, create all my creative processes. This is a state of being that I feel I will be extremely satisfied. I got to work on feeling satisfied right now with what I need to do in this frame to materialize that version of reality. I'm not going to feel satisfied sitting on the couch watching 4 hours of Netflix, right? So you get exactly what you are. Somebody that you look up to, anybody. It could be an artist, it could be somebody from the past, it could be whoever you look up to. Think, what would they do? Would they waste time? Would they tell themselves that they can't do it? Would they binge watch Netflix? Would they smoke weed and get drunk? Follow the footsteps of somebody you look up to and just start imitating action and get yourself at least veering off in that direction rather than, acting in the ways in which you just have what it is you have right now. If that's not enough for you, then this is exactly how you do it. So taking reality at face value, cracks in the matrix, opportunities, again, it's all in your perspective to begin, but it's what you do right after this moment, right? Do you get off the couch and shut down the YouTube app and start creating and start looking for those cracks in the matrix and those opportunities and those candy bridges? Or do you continue to accept what it is you have and continue to resonate and think and act in the direction that is not going to create anything different? These are some powerful, 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 yet very simple things to start considering if you want to go in a new direction. So I've talked a lot about where I am now and how I've gotten here. And I just want everyone to know, and this is why I really feel as passionately as I do about this subject, I am not a special person. I have made myself special. I have made myself rich. I have made myself free. I have made myself creative. I have created this person. If I were to show you a movie, 5-minute clip of who I was 15 years ago, you wouldn't recognize a single fucking thing about me. Not one. I looked probably 20 years older than I look even right now. I was a negative person. I was unhappy. I was desperate. I was broke. I was drowning in debt. I was addicted to drugs and alcohol. I had extremely low self-worth, low self-esteem, no skill set whatsoever, right? 9th grade education. I was on a one-way track to fucking nowhere, right? I was nowhere. And this is what the work has done for me. This is now a product of me taking action, thinking thoughts, resonating at a higher frequency, and acknowledging that there is a different version of reality out there, and I have done the things that I have needed to do to connect with this version of reality. But I am not special. I am not in any way special. I am no different than anyone else at their absolute lowest point. I was the person watching this video that's at their lowest point. I was there. I was there, and now I'm not, because of exactly what I am speaking of. So now I'm going to get into what I see exactly is the issue, the snags, what I see people doing wrong. Again, taking reality at face value and just continuing to like hammer out that same, I call it the reality rut. Just kind of continue to maintain that reality rut, not exiting, not acknowledging that there are different variations that you can, connect with, not managing pendulums. This is a big one. I honestly view the last year of my life, these things have happened for me. My net worth has doubled in 1 year from me doing a number of financial moves that were kind of like things my reality showed me, which in the past, I probably would have thought, well, that won't work. Oh, that couldn't work. But I really started to detach from pendulums, reset my thinking about things, listen to what my reality is telling me, right? This video right now, this could be reality trying to tell you something. Are you going to listen to it, right? This is what I've done for the last year, detaching from very loud and very distracting pendulums. I was able to listen to my reality more so than I normally was. And this has resulted in things flowing up to me accepting the challenges, and all of a sudden net worth's doubled, right? So net worth is doubled, and then I've got more options. What do I want to do? Okay, I want to move to Georgia. I want to move to a foreign country and become a real estate mogul there. I want to, you see where I'm going here? It's like a staircase. It begins with managing your pendulums. Then you can see and hear things more. Then you can take your reality up on the opportunities, the candy bridges, the cracks in the matrix. You move through those cracks. You take the action. You begin thinking different thoughts, higher self-thinking and actions. Then all of a sudden, there's even more options. So then you start to move in those directions, which open more doors and more candy bridges. And exponentially, it begins to unfold. And I know for those that are feeling really, really stuck right now, you're probably thinking, yeah, fucking nice. I'm happy for you, right? But again, I'm telling you, I was optionless at a certain point in my own mind. I was stuck. I was drowning in debt. I did have a problem with drugs and alcohol and mental health issues and all kinds of stuff. And now, it wasn't instant, but now I truly have a buffet of choices in front of me, and I get to move and do what it is that I want to do, and I'm fucking doing it. I'm absolutely doing it. So the first thing that I see people really doing wrong, their reality lacks a slide, or the slide is just some old dingy slide that has just run in the background. And again, you accept this static version of reality at face value. You've got to change your slide. So I'm going to now promote and kick off my latest product. I'm so unbelievably proud of this because this is 7 years of transurfing distilled into 4 20-minute audios that I have used to absolutely transform even what was already good last year into something that's fucking mind-blowing today. And I did it. I hacked the matrix. This is my new offering, Rapid Materialization Magic. This is everything that I did when I realized that I wanted to move to Tbilisi, managing my internal world, my external world, and the dance in between the two. Now, you don't have to take the course. You don't have to take the course. But if you want something different for yourself, you are going to have to figure out a way to really understand the power and the value of upgrading a slide for your reality. Without upgrading a slide, it's like how I describe it is this. You have got to see, feel, sense, and understand what a new version of reality looks like in order for you to go there. Without that, you can't go there because you can't go to the place that you haven't set yet. A lot of people in this community and in the world in general, and I used to be one of them, I wanted to see something first before I felt it. I understand now that I have to feel it and then I can see it. I have to sense it. I have to live in it. I have to sensually understand this version of reality. This is done via the slide. The more powerfully and detailed I build out my slide, the more quickly I begin to merge with that version of reality. And this Tbilisi move happened like that, right? I mean, I'm not actually moving there exactly right now. I'm going there. I've got a one-way ticket. I'm going there to set it all up, get everything turned on, create the life there, and then I'm going to come back here and start to dismantle this version of reality to fully merge with the Tbilisi version. But again, I can't go there if I don't know it exists, if I don't sense what that feels like, if I don't understand visually and with all of my senses that version of reality. So I've got to do that first. And I think that a lot of people are lacking this part of their reality transurfing practice or their reality creation practice. The problem is, and I'm not a believer in visualization. I know there's a lot of stuff about visualization in the reality creation community. Visualize, affirmations. All of this stuff is kind of bullshit if you don't do what really, really matters in between. And what really, really matters in between is the action. This is what matters in between. Again, you have got to assume the position of the person in this current layer of reality of the person that has the thing. You only have that which you align your thoughts, actions, and frequency with. Everything that you see right now around you is in line with who you are in this moment. So in order for you to transform what it is that you have, you've got to evolve your thoughts, your action, and your frequency. And this is done via action. There's no other way around it. So the Anomalous Action Challenge Breakthrough Course, I've streamlined it. I've made it really, really simple to follow. It's for those who are challenged with understanding action, how to take it, how to self-start. Self-starting is huge. If you can't self-start, you're not going anywhere. Bottom line. You can watch YouTube videos until you are absolutely blue in the face. You can repeat affirmations until you are absolutely blue in the face. You can take courses until you're absolutely blue in the face. If you cannot self-start, you are not going to go anywhere. The higher the actions that you can kick into right now, that next frame is going to show you the fruit of your labor, really. So getting out of that reality rut. And again, you don't need a course to do this. You can do this entirely on your own. I taught myself to do it, but again, extremely committed and dedicated. And I just wanted a new life for myself. You know, I wanted a new life for myself. I wanted to stop struggling with money, stop struggling with security and self-worth and understanding my place in this world and how I was thinking, how I was acting, and the things that I was doing was creating a world with the absence of everything that I'm experiencing now. I had to upgrade me in order for me to transcend that version of reality that I was stuck in, that reality rut. Done via action, no way around it. And I know that a lot of the people, the talking heads and the people in the reality creation community love to push this idea that you don't have to do anything. But you know what? That hasn't been my experience. I have created my own reality via anomalous action. Period. I taught myself how to do this thing. And if anything is creating results in my reality today, it's anomalous action. I am an anomalous action junkie now. Every single day I take new action. It's gotten to the point where if I don't take a new action in my day, I feel as though my day is incomplete. And in every single action that I take, higher, right? They're all higher. That next frame is higher. And it's about making yourself comfortable with this mode. I'm not comfortable with non-action Renée anymore. That's not who I am. And I realize that that doesn't create anything that I want. I feel stuck. I feel complacent. I feel as though I'm not rising to my maximum potential. And I'm uncomfortable with not taking anomalous action. Now, I had to take enough anomalous action so I could become comfortable with it, but it was the best investment I could have ever made in myself, was learning how to and becoming comfortable with anomalous action. So streamlined anomalous action challenge breakthrough leads you through 30 days of doing this every day. And after that, I swear to God, your reality will look different. It can take on all sorts of forms, but it will look different. Exiting the reality rut is what takes you to different variations of reality. Anomalous action is exactly how to exit that reality rut. Getting in your own way. So the quantum clearing method. This is what I'm suggesting. For anyone that has read Reality Transurfing or understands the concepts of transurfing at least a moderate level, yet is not seeing results or not seeing results, these are the 3 steps to take. Figuring out where it is you want to go, your destination, what it is that you want, who you want to be, what you want to have, right? Creating that slide, creating that version of reality in your mind. Then clearing out everything that is standing in between you and that version of reality that is originating within. This is limiting beliefs. This is you not giving yourself enough credit of what you're capable of. This is poverty mentality. This is you cutting yourself off at the knees. Clearing out the stuff that's standing in your way is what helps you to be able to venture off of that well-worn reality rut groove. That groove we remain confined to because of our limiting thoughts. This is what I have. I'm only capable of this. I don't know what to do. I don't have the skill set. You can evolve. You can evolve, and you can do what it is you need to do to come up within and bring yourself out of that reality rut. But you're going to have to clear it out. And this is done via a process that I've created, 2 days of looking at yourself in a way that you've never seen yourself before. And it's hardcore. It is hardcore. I've done it, and a lot of other people in the community have done it. If you've done it and you want to share what happened to you, comment below, because it's a hardcore practice. But even if you can envision the version of reality that you want via your slide, you aren't going to get there if you've got stuff, junk, debris, weird negative feedback within. It's going to continue to hold you back, right? And if you're saying to yourself now, oh, well, I don't know what it is that I want, this is where the anomalous action challenge comes in. You can do it in 2 directions. You can either do it to find what it is that you want, or you can do it to take new steps in the direction of something you've already, something you've already decided that you want for yourself. So again, 3 ways to get there. And this is it. This is hardcore. This is hardcore growth. This is everything that I've done. This is everything that I have taught myself, learned, paid attention to, 7 years of transurfing practice. How to visualize a slide and really make myself align with the version of reality externally, using and harnessing all that I can to help me bring that slide to fruition. Without understanding where it is that I want to go, I'm not going anywhere. Clearing all the junk in between me and that version of reality that is originating within, limiting beliefs, self-toxicity, right? Holding myself back via learned helplessness, all that kind of crap, and then learning to take anomalous action. This is it. This is the formula for hacking the matrix. You're not going to get there without taking new action, picking a new destination, and evolving yourself to rise up to the version of reality that you want to experience. Again, you don't have to take the courses. You can learn to do this yourself, but this is the formula after 7 years of being a fucking scientist with self-development and self-improvement and working with the transurfing concepts. This is what I have arrived to that has worked for me. And without these steps, I'd still be living in past Renée that was scared to even make a move, right? So if you don't know where to start, pendulums. If you feel like you don't have it in you, if you feel like you're listening and you're like, this sure sounds like a lot. This sounds really hard. Maybe this is okay. Maybe this version of reality will do. If those are the kinds of thoughts that you're having, pendulums have lulled you to sleep to a state of complacency where you simply accept your current script and you're just kind of okay with it. And maybe it's not that good, not that bad, but whatever, it is what I have. Once you really begin to remove the pendulums that are on you, ripping your face off, even softly ripping your face off, you get a surge of meta power, energy. I know you guys couldn't see below the camera there, but I did this hip thrust thing where I was like, boom. Because this is how it feels for me. I feel like I am meeting my reality with a vibrancy and an energy that is only here because I have adequately managed my pendulums. Without it, I'm just complacent Renee watching Netflix, not fulfilling my highest intention and not merging with the highest version of myself or my reality. So fuck that. The thing that I want to wrap this up with, the dance. I think the alternatives flow, lots of videos on this channel about the alternatives flow, is a very understated concept in the transurfing modality that we don't talk a tremendous amount about. But I am beginning to learn that when I trust the flow, like I was speaking of earlier, my net worth doubling in the last year, this is because of the alternatives flow. Somebody comes to me and says, hey, did you ever think of this? This trend is happening in the jewelry business. Did you ever think that maybe you could do something like that or jump on board with this idea? I don't discount it anymore. I used to think, oh, I know the way. I'm doing this thing, you know. But now, whenever anything presents itself to me like that, this is my world coming up to me, my dance partner coming up to me and saying, let's waltz. And every single time my world has brought me something in the last year, I have answered that call. Georgia to Tbilisi, exactly the same story, right? Andrew, hey, you should come. Get online, buy my ticket, book my Airbnb, fly there, check it out. Oh my God, this is great. Walk by a real estate office. Oh my God, you can get a beautiful house for that much? Well, I've got that much. Oh wow, I found this amazing deal and they want to close quickly. I've got two options. I can allow the people and pendulums in my life to convince me of all the ways in which this thing is fucking nuts, or I can dance with my dance partner, my world, who's bringing to me something amazing that will create a version of reality and a state of being that is absolutely in line with the frail of my soul. And I am dancing now like a motherfucker. Every single time my world extends its hand to ask me to dance, I'm doing it. And what's happening is everything is just increasing. Doors flying open everywhere. I am going to make a ton of fucking money in Tbilisi. Not because I want money, but I want to go to a foreign country and I want to show up. I want to drop myself into a foreign environment and just blow up there, just to show myself that I can do it. Completely foreign environment, completely foreign way of doing business, a completely foreign business, and I want to drop myself in there, use the transurfing concepts, and just like maximize in that layer as quickly and effectively as I can. And I know what's going to happen. I'm going to make a ton of money and I'm going to live a bitchin' lifestyle and I'm going to be very comfortable and I'm going to be very, very, very satisfied with myself. And I am allowing myself in this moment to be that version of Renee. And it's fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome. I've managed to figure it out. I have cracked the code. So if you're stuck today, again, you don't need these things that I've made. You don't. I didn't have them. I figured it out on my own. It took me 7 years, but you can do it in your own way. Find what you need and start taking the action and the steps today to merge with different options and different variations. If you want help, inexpensive, they're $100 a piece. There's the Rapid Materialization Magic, how to build your slide and merge with that version of reality quickly and effectively and efficiently. There's the quantum clearing method, clearing out all the shit that's inside of you that's holding you back. And then there's the anomalous action challenge. This is you learning how to take action. This is you learning how to self-start. This is you learning how to look to your environment to show you signs which you move on and dance with your world. So this might not work for you. It's worked for me. I'm sure a couple people watching this video probably think that I'm out of my fucking mind. But you know what? It works for me. And I'm maybe out of my mind, but I'm living the reality that I want to live. I'm experiencing the version of reality that I have chosen. I have all the things that I need. I'm monetarily satisfied. I'm spiritually satisfied. I talked about in my Soul Frail video or chapter that just launched, and if you haven't listened to the Tale of Practical Reality Transurfing audios, you know, I go into my into my evolution deeply. But I talked about when I left Los Angeles of filing for, you know, personal and spiritual bankruptcy, meaning that I was just like a shell of a person that didn't have, you know, I filed for spiritual bankruptcy. I was gone. I was depleted. I needed to fill myself up. And I figured out the things that have worked for me to fill me up. And I've created my own path, and I've written my own rules, and I have created my own reality as a product. You can do this too. Do it in your own way. You can follow my footsteps if it's calling to you, or you can design something entirely of your own. But accepting reality at face value right now, static conventional reality, don't do it. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up. All the links are below if you want to check out the goods. Any questions, leave them in the comments. And thank you so much for watching my video, and happy reality creation, everyone. Peace.